Hi guys, how are you all? Hi, I'm good. How are you? We'll wait for another 5 minutes for people to join in. Hi. Okay. Now we'll start by collecting the materials. We need to start with abstracts today. Any questions before that? Say hi to art. I use Prestro and Never Palette. You guys can even use poster colors if you're not if you haven't started with gouache, you don't know how to use gouache. Okay, so we'll start by I'll introduce with the things we require for this live. Okay, so right now I'm using brush stroke gouache. I'll be using 5 or 6 colors contrast, or else I'll be using these Never Palette White Nights. And you can even use 185 GSM, or else 300 will be good, because gouache and poster colors can bend your paper easily. We'll be using acrylic marker for the outlines to be not messy, and we'll go with flat brushes more to have more details. You guys can also start with collecting these, and we'll start in a while. I'll be using more. Okay, I'll tell you the latest paintings like these. This is one and this is the other one. We'll be making bit similar with different colors. The colors I'm using today is mid yellow, teal. You can use random colors of your choice. It's not like, okay, what I'm using, it's you also have to use. Other is rose, Wardian, and this is yellow green. And we'll be requiring a paste, or else you can use directly colors, metallic colors, but I use these powders because they give more shine when used. You can have a look with these, the way they have turned out. And to make this, I'll be adding one portion of this and one portion of any glue. I am using transparent glue for now, and 2 portions of water. The ratio is 1:1:2. I've already made this. We can start now. I'm keeping this as a reference for you guys. We'll start by, I'm using this 300 GSM Magnani Umbria. Of course, we are going with abstract, so it's not like you don't need to be precise. Whenever using pencils with gouache and watercolor, use light, hold it light, or use colored pencils. So here we are done with the base. I'll start with these center parts. I'll go for mid yellow and teal. I'll be using palettes in between, but sometimes I go directly on this and add water, because gouache sometimes can be really messy. You have to do layers twice with it. Right now I'm using brush stroke flat 6 number. Don't make it too wet or don't make it too thick. You can think of the questions. We'll be having a question answer round at end. And even if it goes out of line sometimes, it's all right, because we'll be using acrylic marker to cover the lines. And do guys please tag us, tag pen paper scissor and art serenity. And also you can get all these products at their website. The website is in the link of this ID. You can have a check. They're giving great deals right now. I'm using flat because it gives more precise details. If I would be using round instead of this right now, it would have given me more messy outlines. If you're good at that, you can use that. Okay. when it's wet, it might give you a look like it's darker at some places and light at some places, but when it dries up, it will give a good look. Some colors with gouache are very tricky because they are very transparent or translucent, and you might have to do another layer. And if you don't wish to do another layer, you can make it not very wet. So now I'm using teal. Gouache dries up very fast, so you don't have to worry about mixing of these colors. All these going out of lines is actually okay because we are gonna anyway cover it. If you guys are newly using this medium, this is one of the mediums which you need not to worry about, because most of us might have used poster colors in our school times, and even if not, it's actually very easy to use. You just need to start it once. Now I'll be taking white. No, we'll leave this part and this part for pen. We'll be making some things with pen. Either we'll go like these, or either we'll go with this pattern, something like this. So here I'm taking rose with white. This rose is actually a bit of translucent, and you might have to do 2 or 3 layers if you make it wet. But right now I'm adding it with white, so it won't be that translucent. So I'll be using a lighter shade here and a darker shade inside. And if you guys are making along with us, please post it and tag both of us, Pen Paper Scissor and Art Serenity. We would be saving this live if you wish to complete or make it later. This IGTV will be saved on Pen Paper Scissor and both Art Serenity. Now I'm taking yellow green. I'll be mixing this also with white. White I'm using of Never palette. These both shades I'll be using in these blank shades. After making with pen, we'll be making designs in between, that to abstract pattern only. Here I'm taking again rose. This is a bit opaque one, so don't let it dry until you are done. Otherwise it will be darker in betweens and lighter, so you'll have to do another layer with it. Now I'll be adding teal to this yellow green to make it a darker look and give this one a complement. It's actually now turquoise. Here we are done with the base, and now we'll go for pen. I'll be using micron pens, basically the PN1, or if you don't have PN, you can use number 8, or a thick one, because we need to give it, this is number 8 and this is PN. So just to give it a thicker look like these, to make outlines. No need to make outlines right now. We'll go with a amoeba or parasite like pattern. You can use lines or even just dots at the end. Remember not to use any of the pens which give leak looks, because we'll be painting in between. One side, and the other side will be using a different pattern. I'm making circles like this. and giving a floral or wavy look at outside. There is no need of that much detailing. Even if it goes out of shape, it's absolutely okay. No need to worry. Because abstract is what we don't know the end result. But in abstract, you need to know where you have to stop, where you have finished. So, other side also we are done. We'll be making more outlines to make it look bold after we shade. If you have to color in between, you can use thin borders. If you have to paint outside, you need to make thick borders. We'll be doing inside, so I'll make it more thinner. Those who are new to the live, I'll recommend, if you want these products, to check this website. The website link is in bio. Guys, do follow Pen, Paper, Scissor and Art Serenity for more works, for more workshop and for more products. I'm covering it with very thin lines with very less space, so that at the end when we paint, that would enhance that more. I hope those who are doing along with me would be doing it very efficiently. I would like to see all of those. So we are almost done with one side. Okay, so we'll be going for other side now. I'll be just making 2 or 3 lines outside each, because we'll be coloring the outer part in this area. I am putting more pressure for this outer line, so that when I paint, I know which one is outer one, which one is the inner one. You can use even metallic colors inside if you don't wish to use these colors. But remember, use those colors only which enhance these. Don't use pens or something, because it won't enhance. It would even cover the lines. Even pens don't give that prominent shade, even if you use metallic pens. For painting this, we'll be requiring a very thin round brush or a very thin flat brush. You can even use watercolors to fill this. But even if you are using metallic pens, metallic paints, or anything mixed with water, you need to keep in mind one thing: don't use other pens which are not waterproof. Okay, so we are done with the pen part. If you wish, you can do the outline first. I'll be doing the outline first, so whenever I'll be using metallic color, it won't spill. Why I'm using this metallic acrylic paint marker? Because with paint brush you get this messy lines. If you are okay with it, you can use that. Otherwise, you can use markers. Don't use permanent marker because we'll be doing metallic paint also, and it would spread if you use permanent marker. You can use metallic shades to highlight. You can use other like golden bronze or other shades. I've used it to highlight in this one. This one is gold one and this is silver. We use markers even to not to waste time, because with paint to give details we'll waste a lot of time, and that would even give this look. So now we'll complete these ones. Okay, so I'll be using brush throw round 3x0. I'm using these three miniature brushes to give it more neat look. First we'll be doing this side fill. I'll be using this pink, darker pink, or if you want, no, I'll be using this green one this side. You can get all of these products on their website. After you are done with this, just do a more thick outline to all of these to highlight. I've used yellow green mixed with white, the one same which we used here. If you wish to do all different shades, you can go for it. Okay, so we are done with this side. Now I'll be using this rose pink mixed with white. I'll be starting with the first outline of any of the pattern. it's better to do the first outlines first because it can enter between, see these lines. If I continue to this, it would go here and here, and these both will look very shabby. After we are done this side, I'll do this. Don't just rush over to do the between inside ones. If black lines look more bold to you, you can just use black in this with the center line and go just blank or with metallic ones. Places which are left in between, if you don't wish to leave those white or blank, you can do the darker shade, this one. You can use markers or colored pens to do these outlines if you want to make it more precise, or if you are not used to go with miniatures or details. But only do if you're not willing to do over it. Like if you are not wish to do a watercolor or other paint over or beside it, because it might spill around. you can do it first with pencil and then do it with pens. Okay, so we are done with the colors now. I won't be using this miniature pen. I won't be using this silver pen. I won't be using this brush for silver because the acrylic powder paints won't go off easily. I'll be using this Camlin brush. That's number 2. You can go for 0. You can go for more if you want thicker ones. You can see if we have done this side, we'll do the silver one this side first. I made this by using this Fabrica acrylic color metallic silver. Added a bit of glue. You can even use opaque glue, normal Fevicol. If you don't have transparent one, it won't make difference. But make it wisely because at the end you might have silver on your hands after they dry up. Firstly, we'll make around this darker rose shade and then we'll do around this. I'm making a thick layer here, but don't take too much at once. It may spoil your outlines. I'm using a thick layer because it would give more shine. So we're done with the inner side. For outer side, if you don't wish to not do it, it's okay. Because we have already done this one here, so it can come in between. So I'll be starting with this part. And just making random patterns. even after by making this liquid in right consistency, after drying it, if you feel like it's coming on your hands, the silver part, like acrylics, we can't use the varnish, liquid varnish over this, and even not the normal varnish. So what we can do is take a spray varnish, the ones which is for graphites, because even if you use the other varnishes, gouache or watercolor is definitely gonna spill around. And make sure you do with more distance normally with what we do with the acrylics. So coming on other side, now the outer part. If you're making this color for first time, you can notice after drying, even if the consistency of your all three ingredients were right. Okay, so we are done with silver part. I would not be doing the outlines for these because I don't want to do more black, but yeah, I'll be doing silver with this line. I'll be making dots over it. If you don't, you can go with golden one or just simply not do it. I'm using this stencil to do that. I'm taking this thin side of it. Don't use one side for more than twice or thrice, otherwise you'll have to overdo the colors. If you're using lighter shades of gouache, you can go with gold or bronze. Silver brighten out most of the brighter shades. I will be doing on both sides, but just half portion of it. I'll be ending this silver here itself as if it's going on the other side. We'll be starting with this line now. Make sure you use a thicker paper when using gouache or watercolor. It can depend on what you're making, but for making paintings like covering the whole sheet, you actually need to have more thick, because at the end it might make your sheet very wavy. You can even overlap it here. Make sure the dots are thin to give it a very nice wavy look. I won't be doing this part, even not like this, because it would look very untidy. So we are almost done with it. So you guys can start with your questions. So here we are done with this piece. Any questions at the end? Thank you, Rahini. Thank you, not less laces. Thanks, Richa. I used 300 GSM Magnani Ambrai sheets. That's actually 320 GSM, so this is the one I used. Thank you, Dev. Thanks, Shraddha. Any questions before we end this live? Oh, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Kirti Krovo. We'll be ending live in next 5 minutes and we'll be saving as IGTV on both Art Serenity and Pen Paper Scissor. Do follow both of the accounts for more pieces like this. The ratio was 1:1:2. One part of this. Make sure you take less of this because at the end it's gonna be a lot and that's gonna be wasted because it's acrylic and it's gonna be dry. If you want to save it for another 1 hour or half day, just add more water because water will evaporate and you can use any time within that time unless it dries up. Any other questions? I haven't done any course yet for any kind of art till now. I take ideas and references from Pinterest and try it my own way. This is called abstract because this hasn't come out of any reference with any subjects, and in abstract we don't have any idea what's going to be the end results. You just need to keep going, but in abstract you need to know where you have to stop. Thanks, Rachita. Okay. You're welcome, Dev. Okay, so we'll be wrapping up this session. Thank you so much, everyone who joined, and anyone or all of you who have done along with this session. Do post on your stories, your posts, and do tag pen, paper, scissor, and add serenity. Thank you so much.